What's up, Union Arena players? This is Kyle D, better known as Universities, and today we have a video for you guys to enjoy. So without further ado, let's dive in the video and talk about it. So guys, if you want an amazing playmat, to be honest with you, check out Neko Nexus. They have amazing playmats for all of Union Arena. They are working on like Sword Art Online coming up, but they have Hunter x Hunter stuff. They have, they have Bleach, and they have JJK in the works. So just something to keep an eye out on. And they have Purple Code Geass. If you guys want to have this amazing playmat, I have an offer for you guys to use. So let's go here. If you type in RMAUA 10%, it'll save you a few bucks on a discount. So if you guys want to be able to save some money on a good playmat, I highly recommend this. But, I do have the Orihime playmat, which I really do love it as my daily driver for Union Arena. So definitely highly go recommend Neko Nexus. So let's get into the video, shall we? So if you guys do not know what the 2v2 is, a 40-player 2v2. It's basically a more complicated event for a 3v3 for a best of one. So what the rules are for it is the A deck versus A deck goes first. They fight off. Winner loses out using their the A deck. They have to win with the B deck to win. But the losing player gets to choose between A and B again. So, but if they win, they lose out on their deck and have to now face it off. So it's a best of three with just two decks and allows you to play. Looks like they had the rule where you can play two of the same anime as an option. So yeah, that is a possibility and players do have that choice. And I don't disagree with that choice. To be honest with you, a lot of players do enjoy stuff like that. But yeah, it's 68 decks, 15 other, 12 Jujutsu Kaisen, 10 One Punch, 9 Purple Code, 7 Purple Bleach, Hunter x Hunter 6, One Punch Man 5, and Demon Slayer 4. So all great deck choices, to be honest with you. So yeah, we take a look here. Let's get into the first play. If we can just do this real quick. So first place was definitely running what would be known as Purple Code Geass and Red Code Geass, which is Ashford Rush. So a lot of players know that these are two completely different play styles. One is a super aggressive one. So having an aggressive and then a mid-range control S deck, it really does help out in the long term wise because players don't know what's going to be coming at them. So I definitely like where people think of when it comes down to the two deck format, where they have this more of a unique idea of what should I take? What shouldn't I take? But, having Purple Code and then a red deck to kind of just close out the other kind of slower decks really does help out in those tempo swings, because if you're facing against a slower deck, Ashford can definitely get in there and win those matchups. And then, Purple Code's going to control the board's a little bit better, so you have a greater odd with this kind of dynamic. And I really do like taking a look at these. So yeah. Now let's see what we can do for... It was really interesting what the second place was playing. If we take a look here. Second place was playing green Saitama with yellow Saitama, which is not a bad combination either, because green plays a little bit in the slower side, so it will lose to an aggro based deck. So this is probably would be how they won, was against... They would probably lose against the Ashford decks and stuff like that. So having a deck that can handle the Ashford, which I don't think both of these can comfortably do it. This one can sort of handle it a little bit because they do have the double blockers. Are they even playing the double blocker? No, they're not. So they went more of a consistency route with having none other than Hellish Blizzard being able to draw you two cards. It's not terrible, but I mean, if you're gonna have anything, I would probably go with double blocker, if anything, but that's just me. I feel like this is a great strong combination as well, because Saitama will close out games. Green Saitama will close out games differently because it wants to control a little bit and be able to punch through things, which is not terrible, right? Then you have yellow Saitama that's going to do the same thing, punch through things and control a little bit as well. I love that they went with this one's going to be able to trash life, which you can spin back with Hellish Blizzard. So that's pretty cool to go about that. And then they did have serious punch as well, just to be able to choose one character on your opponent's front line and up to one character in energy line and sideline them. Being able to remove 2 characters is pretty neat, to be honest with you. But that was the combination for second place. So let's take a look at what third place kind of wanted to do. Really? Gotta love when the computer crashes. So we got the one punch yellow, and they kind of went with something like this. Which is not bad to go with this combination. I think having yellow One Punch Man plus Toshi is not a bad way of deck building. So yeah, having Toshi be able to lock things down as your backup, because again, Toshi has better matchups into One Punch Man strategies, because again, with One Punch Man, you get to run into being able to lock down the Saitamas is super important, because again, Toshi's lock is different than Yellow's lock, being able to lock until the next combat step, which end of next combat step, which is really good, because when you can't restand Saitama is vitally important, right? Now we do have, this one's a little bit more interesting as a combination. Wasn't expecting to see both Speedo Sound Sonic comboed with none other than the Tanjiro Nezuko deck, which again, both decks really thrive on punching your opponent in the face as much as you can. So being able to multi-attack is super important in clutch in some circumstances, and I really do like that strategy. I mean, again, Speedo Sound Sonic being able to swap in, swap out with more Speedo Sounds can lead into just applying a lot of pressure. You know, you have Tanjiro, Nezuko being able to do the same thing, multi-attacking, which again is very scary for a lot of decks to deal with, because if they can't block, if you can produce 6 attacks when they have a full board, they're losing out on 4 of them, four of their bodies most comfortably. And then you're going to get in those last couple attacks because you can kill sooner than they can, which is really nice to see, actually. So yeah, if you guys are thinking about 2v2s, this is probably going to be a really good informational point, to be honest with you. So taking a look here, we had blue JJK, Kento Namami, which isn't bad, actually. I think spicing in what they're doing is not bad. And then purple bleach, which is kind of cool to me. I think this combination is a very unique one, which is surprisingly, I'm surprised that we didn't see like purple code with the blue JJK. But if you notice, blue JJK has fallen off a little bit here in these events. I mean, it's not that bad, but the one thing I don't like is these. This is the only thing that deters me from playing this very list, because I like the Sukuna attack, but I don't like the Kento 2-8 energy, the, 2 action point. These guys are so expensive, for playing the deck how you want to. I like the Shrine and Sukuna attack. I think it's cute and you could definitely work with it. I don't know. It's up to you how you guys would go about it, but what do you think of the Kento UG list with the combination of purple bleach? I think both provide a great strategy, both have great aggression for themselves, and this is very interesting. It's focusing, they don't have a Rukia at all in the list. They do yeah, they don't have one, but they are playing the double block Orihime to help with aggression decks, which is not terrible, right? Especially if you hit any of your good triggers, right? But all in all, though, that's not terrible as well. I think if we take a look here, Legit Vocals, interesting. So Legit Vocals is a big TO and another content creator. So he's definitely been hammering home the Esper Sister deck. He's been having a lot of fun with it. And if anybody really wants great background knowledge, definitely hit up Legit Vocals on this deck, because he's been going ham on this deck. So definitely keep that in mind here. Just taking a look, though, we have the Esper Sisters. Again, great deck that uses a lot of options, has a high skill ceiling. Then you have Kurapika being another deck that can just snipe and kill a lot of threats, which is pretty solid for a combination here. So, yeah. Then we have the 7th place list. We played Hunters. And they played the yellow JJK deck. Not yellow JJK. They played yellow One Punch Man. So again, it seems like a lot of players are on this strat where they play, you know, One Punch Man seems to be very popular in this format right now. But again, that's just because new decks, shiny new toys. Kurapika is Kurapika, but it looks like a lot of players are starting to tech in more and more nullify impacts, which is not a bad thing to start thinking about, just because you want to start dealing with like Saitama's killing you. A lot of decks are gaining these just innate, you know, impact boys across the board. So it might just be smart to start teching in these in lists. So yeah. And then our 8th place list, and this will be the final list we take a look at, double purple decks. So it's going to be interesting how we look at this. So let's take a look. They had purple code and purple bleach. This was very commonplace for the 2v2s early on, which I noticed that when we were seeing 2v2s, but you know, you have Gawain, you have the Girins. So it's all great stuff to take a look at when you're kind of deck building and stuff. Purple bleach is going to do purple bleach shenanigans. You have, this is very interesting. Select an energy amount, then reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, add up to 1 character with the same selected energy required among them to your hand, place the remaining cards in the sideline. Not terrible. I mean, this is raidless bleach and the Girins. This is just, the Girins are just really annoying. You know, Gawain is also annoying to deal with, but all in all, the deck has a lot going for it, and a lot of players enjoy these lists. So it's up to you how you want to build your decks. And this is great information for anybody that's really wants to be hosting 2v2s. You know, gives players a lot of creativity and uniqueness to play across the board. Yeah, some players will probably enjoy just playing singular IPs. So, but all in all, they do have a YouTube link so that you can rewatch all the great matches, which is not bad. I think having access to watching an event like this, so you kind of get an understanding how it works, will be cool. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.